Welcome back to Parry Brothers YouTube channel. Let's go racing. So yeah, we arrived to the track a little late. Brad was already there set up.
Hello.
And I looked at his face and fucking hell, he looked like he was shitting himself.
Wow, look at this.
We made it.
We made it.
Oh my god.
You've had a shave.
Yeah.
Tried to make him feel a bit better about it, but I don't know if I just made it worse, if I'm honest. We did surprise him with a t-shirt. It was his birthday a few days before.
You notice Brad's been wearing everyone else's team clothing with their names and numbers on, and considering it's his birthday, we decided to treat him to his own merch.
No way. Oh my god.
Race one and a new shirt.
New shirt. So exciting. That's probably the only good thing about this, you know, the first race. The merch arrived.
There are some positives in there somewhere.
Yeah.
If you look below this video, you can purchase your own if you want one to support the race team.
We literally received the merch the day that we were going, the morning of, and Hazar on the camera went through all of the stuff, organised all the shirts, so we all had our fresh gear at the first race.
Woo! Great.
Oil in the motor. Yeah, oil in the diff. Yeah. Change the gears. Change the gears for the gear. I've done a light list of WD-40, so that makes my job easy when I get home. I don't have to wash it.
Yeah, it should fall off a bit easier.
We got our heat draws like 2 days before the weekend, and we were starting 9th in the first heat and 4th in the second heat.
Now, before we do anything crazy with setup, we go and watch what the sprint cars are doing.
Yeah.
Get a look at the track, and then we'll come back and make some changes. Yes. Organised team stuff.
Right.
Oh, yeah. We did a thing.
Sun's setting and it's time to go racing. We went to go and have a look at the track conditions and watch the sprint cars do some hot laps. These V8 engines are putting out 900 horsepower, and before our night even started, we witnessed a huge accident. The driver was okay, but I'm not sure we could say the same about the car. We were doing our final checks before the tension started building to our first heat race. There was a lot of way nicer, more expensive Modlite cars than ours, but we won't let any of them intimidate us.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm shooting myself for Brad, to be honest. He's ready to go out there. They're in the mock grid, ready to go out for the first heat. So hopefully this one goes smoothly, stays out of trouble, and then the rest of the night we can start getting some decent results.
It kind of hit me as he was doing his warm-up lap, getting ready for his first heat, and I was like, holy fuck, we actually made it. And the car was sat in the garage, nothing working on it. If you remember, the throttle cable was just about to give way. We had no motor. The motor wasn't even sealed by the scrutineers. The chassis wasn't even registered. Everything was bent on the car. The odds were stacked completely against us, and all of a sudden, we stood trackside. The car is popping flames as it's rolling around like an absolute badass. And he was going into his first heat race of the season, and it was the big opener as well. The sprint cars were there, all the top guys, there was a big crowd. It was like the perfect setting to get the season started. First corner and there was already big drama, but Brad managed to avoid this huge accident. The race was restarted and somehow everyone involved in the accident was allowed to overtake us and start in front of us. So we still found ourselves at the back. There was a bit of a downer because we had a bit of a humbling experience of how fast all these boys actually are.
I just had so much confidence going into the night, but after the first heat race, the confidence was just sucked out of me because I just saw everybody in front disappear, and I could do nothing about it.
We got some work to do with the car. The car is not perfect, it's sluggish. We don't think the gearing's right, we don't think the suspension setup's right, we're messing with tyre pressures because we're kind of like working in the dark. I don't know how to set up a speedway car. I'm from a superbike background, so this is all new to me. And poor Brad is, although he's a very talented driver, he's not an expert with setting up a car either. We're kind of just working in the dark, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. We've had very limited track time to actually gather our own data. We're trying our best.
You got no brakes?
I dropped the tyre pressures a little low because at Kingaroy we had such a good run that I thought if we dropped the tyre pressures, you know, by the time we got on the track, the sprint cars had already done their hot laps and qualifying, so the track was pretty like blown off. I thought, you know, it might be a bit sticky, a bit tacky. We'll run a little lower tyre pressures, and but it was like the complete wrong setup. Like it was the opposite of what you could do, and it's just a shame because Kingaroy felt so good, but then as soon as I sat back in the car and we did the first heat race in Toowoomba, it felt like nothing had changed from the last time I drove it, and I had like no confidence in the car. The car didn't want to go where I was turning it. Like had no turn in the front. The car just wanted to go straight. Yeah, and then coming out of the corners, like there was just like no drive. And then by the time I was getting halfway down the straight, we were running out of gear again, and we changed the gear ratio from Kingaroy to go to a higher gear ratio, and somehow we still were running out of gear in Toowoomba. So I ended up just pulling third, and it was good because I wasn't on limiter, but at the same time there was no pull in the car.
This is really only the first time you've driven it properly since you guys have worked on it. It's frustrating, but it's still running, you know. This is better than it was last season.
We're putting the GoPro under here to film the flames coming out of the exhaust. So this might be the last time we ever see this thing. Goodbye, GoPro. So these guys had a collision in our heat. I don't know if you saw on the footage. They had a bit of a smash up.
It was time to start getting ready for Heat 2. But unfortunately for us, the story was much the same.
GoPro is on.
But we've got some really exciting mods to do to the car. We want to get it faster. I want to upgrade the exhaust. I want to try and get this motor pushing out a bit more power. We want to learn and get our heads around all the gearing and the diff setup. We don't fully understand it, we're just starting to understand it. And we want to upgrade all the suspension.
We've had a sponsor step up, the Bank of Dad. He's come through and supplied us with some springs and some shocks for our next meeting. Looking forward to getting that on the car because hopefully it just changes something. You know, it has to improve somewhere.
Although the car doesn't handle that great, it handled well enough to avoid another accident.
Feel better? Taste better?
So yeah, some really exciting stuff. I don't really see any negatives from the first race. Brad is going to beat himself up. He wants to win races, so of course he's not going to be happy until he is. And even when he is winning races, I'm sure there'll still be something he wants to like complain about because he's a driver. That's what they do. It's the same in the superbike world. They all moan about shit, but it's because he wants to do well. And you know, I was really proud of him, and I was really proud to see the car out there. Time for the corny slow-mo shot. You work it, Brad.
They're grading the track just before Brad's going out, so it's going to be a little bit tricky because he's not driven on it in this condition.
All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas.
they went out there with the tractor and stuck the grader into the track and ripped the bottom. And so when we went out, the bottom was really fresh and had a lot of moisture in it. But the tire pressures that we put in were kind of for a track that wasn't ripped up yet. So I decided to run the middle for a while, but it just was no good. The track had no grip. We had I had no turn. The car was really snappy. So I started to run the bottom a little bit, and that's where the grip was. Like, the car came pretty good, but there was just so many cautions during the feature that it was so stop-start. I couldn't get into a rhythm, and I just found myself we would take off, and then I'd get slightly into a rhythm and feel like I was catching the cars ahead, and then there'd be another caution, and it'd be back to the start where everyone would drive off from me again. I'd get into a rhythm, caution. So I think at the end we ended up finishing like maybe one spot ahead of where we started, but it's still like it wasn't great.
And you
Got nudged.
Yeah, we got nudged, bit of damage on the new panels, a new crash bar. I know, sad. But yeah, and then we spun out a couple times, dodged a lot of crashes. But that's just what happens when you're at the back. You just have to deal with it.
Right in the middle of the mayhem.
Yeah, it's just the worst place to be.
Thanks to all the organisers for putting on such a great event, and congratulations to the top 3. Watch out, we're coming for you. We had a great time, and we got some tits time in the seat.
Get some tits, yeah. All about the tits.
So if you want to see more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can buy a team shirt. They are available right now.
Yeah, Banker Dad will be there.
Banker Dad. Or you could say Banker Ad.
Banker Ad, yeah.
Or you could say Dad the Lad.
Dad the Lad.
Or you could say Ad the Lad.
Ad the Lad, yeah.
Yeah, so many nicknames.
Yeah.
Oh. We'll let the comments section decide on nicknames.
Yeah.
Be kind. Be kind.
Please.